Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special town board meeting of tonight, June 6th. Our flags are being cleaned, so we'll salute the flag behind the camera in front of us. Would everybody please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The purpose of this meeting, a special town board meeting, is we've received the bids back from our third go-round of the bid out for our pavilion. And since time is of the essence and we want to get this done, if approved, before the end of the year, we are going to talk about it tonight. So I would like to make a motion for Resolution 2017-125, awarding bid for construction of a pavilion with ADA-compliant restrooms at the Thompson-Mazzarella Park.
Second. Want me to take you through it?
Yes. I'm going to discuss, I know what thank you. Yes, please.
Okay, so on the first page of this, it shows all the bids. The request for bidding went out in four pieces: the general construction piece, the plumbing, the mechanical, and the electrical. And what's shown on here are all the bids that were received. The low bidder on general construction was Segrist Construction. The low bidder on plumbing was Segrist Construction. The low bidder on mechanical was Segrist Construction, and the low bidder on electrical was Osterhout Electric. There were, in case you can't see it, there were 5 bidders on the mechanical and 2 on electrical, 3 on plumbing, and 2 on general. So we chose the low bidders. There was a change that was made during the bidding process to reduce the thickness of the roof material from 2 1/4 inches to 1 1/2, which was apparently was not seen as a degradation of any kind. The total number of dollars for all the low bids is $597.87. I'm sorry, $597.80. The available funds are on this page. The town of Rhinebeck previously committed $85,000. New York State's committed $160,000. Tommy Thompson Foundation $60,000. Winnicke Land Trust $65,000. Dutchess County $100,000. Frost Foundation $100,000. Greenway $4,000, and the Gloria F. Ross Foundation $2,500. In the process of doing this, the bids came in a little higher than we expected, and there is a Rhinebeck Park fund money's been contributed to, and we're going to pull $7,300 out of that fund, or we were given, the park committee gave the town $7,300 out of that fund to pay for part of the overage, which is essentially the rain pond, the rain garden, sorry. It's a pond when it rains, and it's a garden when it doesn't rain. That adds to $583,800. There's a $13,280 discrepancy between the funds that were previously committed and the amount of the bid. The resolution basically says, let's accept this and have the town increase its funding by $13,280. My opinion, and I think I share it with other people, is that going up to a 4th round to try to get this lower, it would cost more than it would be worth to do, because it costs money every time we go out for a bid.
So, thanks, Alan. We have this resolution open, and I have a resolution here moving money around, which I'd like to do before we vote on this, because legally we have to have the funds available before we spend it. But before I moved all the money, I wanted to have this discussion to make sure that all were in favor of proceeding with this. If we want to proceed with it, I'd like to move the money before we vote on the resolution. So I support this. I've supported the park from the beginning. This is a plan that has been before the town for a decade, and Sally and Bob and Frank and everyone on the committee have been working tirelessly. This is a plan that our town wants. It's a plan for everybody here. It's fields, it's passive recreation, it's our community garden. I think we're at the tipping point. If we don't do this now, we won't be able to do it. We have had generously a third extension on our CDBG ADA, Community Development Block Grant ADA. The county has graciously worked with us and extended it a third time. I don't believe there'll be a fourth even for Sally. And we have a DASNY grant. This is kind of what it is. This is what a public works project is. It's the biggest public works project we've taken on since we built this building. And we are either committed to it or we're not. And I'm supporting it, and will be happy to see this pavilion built and, moving on to the soccer fields for the people who really want it.
Good. Yeah.
Anybody else?
I just have a question. The $85,000 in addition, we're adding 13
Yes, that's
to
the
it,
idea.
to that.
Yes.
To them, okay.
Sally, how much money is in the Rhinebeck Park Fund? Is this everything?
We have $1,000 left after this.
And I'm not going to vote on this because, but I know that the town board said we wouldn't put any more money in at one point. So, the board may be changing its mind. But if we vote for this, does this mean you would stop trying to fundraise to see if you can get some more money to cover the 13,000?
I think that, there are other things happening with the fields and parking and the roadway, that there is a need to continually try and look for grants and funds to, just lighten the load for the community. So there will be a continued effort.
Could some of that money, because I don't know how long the construction will take on
It
this.
has to be completed before the end of the year in order to access the $100,000 from the county.
So presumably if some money comes in before the end of the year, maybe it can be used to cover the 13. And I gather there's no contingency in this.
Yeah, that's a possibility, Joe, but also there's an opportunity to sit down and talk to the contractors to see if there's any movement with the bids that they've submitted. And that can't happen until after, the town board makes a decision. We've done some research in terms of the low bidders, and I know, Frank, if you want to share maybe the information you have in regard to, the lowest bidder that, on 3 different aspects of the project, Segrist, we could share that with you. Do you want to just, pardon me? Yes, yeah.
Segrist is a very experienced company. They are located in Poughkeepsie, so they're also a local company. They just finished an $8 million project for Hudson River Housing, which is converting an old historic landmark structure, in, the underwear factory, into housing, part of Hudson River Housing's Main Street initiative there, and they were nothing but rave reviews for them. They said they never presented a problem without providing a solution, that they, because of they also provide subcontracting trades for their plumbing and their mechanical, that they're very kind of light on their feet, and that they are very easy to work with, that there was a shortfall on that project, and they stepped up and were equal to the task. So we're happy to have them.
You can mention the award they were recognized
And they were also recognized at their last gala as a, community, I forget the exact title of the award, but yes. So, yeah, the first thing I did was called Mary Ling, who's their Director of Development, and she was, very complimentary of the Segrist.
So Frank, do you think there's an opportunity to reduce some of these costs?
I do.
We have to wait till
We've been waiting for the right moment, but
the right moment is after we approve it.
yes,
I
and
understand.
that there has been kind of informal discussion, but there has been nothing. So yes, the answer is yes. And I don't know if to address Joe's comment or Joe's question, but there are other parts of the park which are going to continue to be developed. One is the soccer fields and also the
Parking lot.
the parking area. There's nothing concrete right now, but there is some discussion.
There's something in the works.
In the works that we're hopeful that portion will also be a big savings for the overall park plan. There's discussion with some local people who are in need of space, so parking, et cetera, may be able to develop that at a savings for the town as well.
I'm confident in Sally and Bob.
Yeah, I've been having discussions, I'm very optimistic.
Thank you. Is there a general consensus of wanting to proceed with this? Because if so, I want to table this and introduce another resolution.
I'd like to ask one question
Yeah.
first. I'm a little concerned, as I'm sure we all are, about the lack of a contingency, particularly if you have to start dealing with change orders. Do you feel that the plans and specifications are sufficiently detailed so that the risks of change orders during the course of construction are really minimal?
I do. I think it's very tight. We did recommend a contingency as to include it in the budget. That's obviously up to the town how they want it. Maybe the town feels more comfortable handling that on a case-by-case basis, that rather than just adding money to the overall budget, that if an item comes up, we will address it at that time as separate items.
Yeah, thank you.
Frankie, it's possible this could come in under, though, right?
Well, the bids have already been placed.
Placed.
So when we're saying that there's once that the contract is signed, there's discussion that could be had with the contractor. Say, listen, well, all of them, there are always alternatives for certain materials or for certain construction methods, which will be a discussion once the contract has been signed to reduce the overall cost.
So it is possible.
Or one of the contractors has three of the contracts, actually, so there's a possibility for him to spread some savings out over those three contracts. The thing with which is easier than doing a change order, because if you do a change order, the contractor sets the price, so you have a little bit, your hands are more tied in that case.
Thank you.
Ed?
Yes.
You guys, all right?
Yeah,
I want to table this resolution then, and I'd like to make a motion. Sorry. Just- Sort of Resolution 2017-126, creating a Thompson-Mazzarella Pavilion Project Fund H103 and transferring monies from various other funds to H103 to fund the Recreation Park Pavilion project. May I have a second?
a second.
So I'm recommending that we close out the H62 Rhinson Rec Facilities Improvement Fund, which has a balance of about $35,800. That's was left over from Phase 1 or the construction. Recommending that we close out the Hutton Street Bridge Fund, which is the bridge we drive over to get down to the park. They're both general fund. capital project funds, and they've both, the Hutton Street's been inactive for a while. We had in this year's 2017 budget about $20,000 in transfer to capital projects line 0000999500900. It's a general funds transfer to capital projects line. I'm recommending that we take $17,080, which leaves us a balance for a couple of things that we have approved already. And in last year's budget, we also had a transfer to capital funds project line of $20,000, which we did not use. So I'm recommending that we take it out of our general funds balance. So this will give us approximately $100,008 towards this $98,000 that we need.
Isn't it about 107,000? Alan's our mathematician.
No, 108,000.
80 and 37 cents.
Yeah, 108.
But we're talking about 85 plus 13, which is about 98,000.
Yeah, so I'm
Why
recommend-
are we going over? what
It's a
we're
capital funds
transferring?
project, like everything. If we don't use it, we put it back into our general fund balance.
Yeah, we're not
The
gonna
board,
spend any
the
more
board
than we're
controls all of the
allocated
money, we have to approve it. Why not, why would you leave something lingering in a fund that's closed out?
It's just tempting to use if,
We,
It's just as tempting to use it no matter where it is.
that's right. I just think that this is clean and lets us know how much we have. It's been my practice to be closing out funds balance that are capital projects, lines that are old and aren't going anywhere. I don't like money lingering in a capital funds project that isn't, that's completed. It's just not the best accounting practice.
If I read it correctly, you use some contingency.
We are not saying it's a contingency. We're saying that we're transferring it to this general fund, capital projects for the park, and then at the board's discretion, we will approve anything beyond.
That's the board's money, not your money. Just remember.
It's the town of Rhinebeck's money. We're the stewards.
Oh,
So,
excuse me.
yes, it is not our money.
No, but the contingency really belongs to the town, to the board.
Right, I know that.
It's my recommendation unless anybody has another idea.
That's good.
Are there any other questions or discussions about Resolution 2017-126? All in favor of Resolution 2017-126?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay, thanks. That's 4 yeses and an abstention. We have another resolution on the floor, which is Resolution 2017-125. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
4 yeses and an abstention, so they both pass. So, again, Sally, Frank, Bob, the whole committee, thank you very much, and we'll be excited to get going on this.
Yeah.
Well, we thank the board for your continued support and patience through this process. We'll certainly stay on top of this effort and hope to reduce some of the costs further.
Thank you.
We have faith. Thanks.
Thanks, Sally.
Is there any further discussion? Is there anything from the audience or that anybody else wants to? Having no other business, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Good night, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you.
Good job.